Hi, this is Cheryl, and this is a movement study that came out of a conversation with a client talking about getting really tight and contracted in your breathing, in your chest, related to allergies. There's been some really high smoke levels lately. So anybody with some kind of past history of allergies or asthma in that sort of condition can really start to get tight. After having a cold, lots of coughing can really create a lot of tightness. And so there's a couple sort of self-care tips to help free up that sense of breath without sort of big, like tough interventions. And so the first one I want to talk about is, finding your sternum. So your collarbones are right here, the bony, parts that end here, and then you have a sternum here. And so if you kind of feel your own sternum, you can find not only the edge of it, but the place where your ribs sort of connect into it. And so helpful to find the place not only where they connect, but the spaces between. And then use this as a really gentle, and I emphasize this, really gentle way that when you breathe in, to just press as you breathe out. And, I talk about using marshmallow pressure. So the kind of pressure you'd use to squeeze a marshmallow to see, how fresh it is or if it's dried out. So just following on the exhale as you breathe in, just letting your hands guide the exhalation out of your breath rather than like pushing with any kind of force. Almost like letting your fingers ride on the wave of breath, but just supporting your ribs to really help fully exhale. So breathe in and then breathe out. And so do this many times. Be slow about it. You could do it sitting up, you could do it laying down. Let your breath find the freedom and the elastic quality in the movement of the ribs. And so your hands are really just an awareness of that intention to fully exhale and then expand with the inhale. Another really fruitful place to put your hands, if you can manage it, is, in your bottom ribs. This is sort of the area where your diaphragm attaches. And so again, with lots of coughing, with lots of irritation, this can get very tight in this region. It's also for women kind of where the bra strap ends at the bottom often. And so the same sort of thing, using your hands simply to bring your awareness, and then using the pattern of your breath, breathing in so that your hands, there's a little bit more pressure into your hands, and then breathing out and just allowing almost like the weight of your hands to help emphasize the exhalation. So you breathe in and then having your hands support your exhale. Slower, smaller, more gentle is highly recommended. More force, more pressure could make it you even tighter. Could if you've got any kind of sort of neurological protection pattern going on, could make that worse. So the word of the day is gentle, gentle, gentle. The other little tip that I'll mention with any kind of breathing, especially if you're in sitting, so important to have your feet flat on the floor. And there's almost this idea that in breathing in, you're breathing in with the help of your feet, the support through the floor, to allow the inhalation and to allow the exhalation on a very purely physical level, having good connection from your feet on the ground, up through your legs, to your pelvis, to your spine, simply creates a better shape for breathing. Often when we get tight, this gets contracted. We create sort of, if we're a cylinder, we create a kind of distorted cylinder, much harder for the ribs and the tissues, the muscles between your ribs, those intercostal muscles, to actually do their full elastic stretch. So you're really looking wherever you can, work with your upper ribs, you can work with your lower ribs, wherever you're putting your hands, under your armpits. You can use them as places to set an intention. I'm going to inhale and expand under my hands, and then exhale and just support that full exhalation. You're going for a quality of elasticity and expansiveness so that you can reset this area, recovering from a cold, from lots of coughing, to find its natural sort of elasticity again. Hope this is helpful. Thanks for tuning in.